I will go ahead and get started. Good afternoon, evening, 330. This is Blake coming to you live from our streaming service again. We're going to give you guys a little bit of an update on the severe weather potential that is looking to impact our area tomorrow afternoon and evening. I do have Ashley from Ohio Weather Network here with us. She is a meteorologist, and she's going to give us some of her insight into what's to come. And after we do this, Ashley will also be going live from her page, Ohio Weather Network, and we'll share that link here in the comments when she does that. So I'm going to let Ashley take it away and show you guys some of the weather models and things we're looking at. Tomorrow is going to be interesting, to say the least. We want to make sure everyone's prepared and informed. That's the main goal of us going live right now. We don't want to spread any alarmist speculation like some pages have been doing. However, we do know that the setup for tomorrow is kind of out of the norm for this area. So we want to make sure people are informed and can be prepared for what's to come. So Ashley, go ahead and take it away, and I'll add your screen here.
All right, perfect. So we're taking a look here. It's going to be a pretty active day. Now, some caveats to this is we are going to have some morning convection, which is considered rainstorms. Any of that could potentially be moving in, and depending on when that happens, how quickly that moves out, will overall have an impact on the severe weather. But for the most part, it does look like it's going to be a pretty serious severe weather day in the forecast. Now, first thing I want to look at is let me see if I can pull up the Storm Prediction Center forecast for tomorrow. Yep, this does include, this is outdated here. Let me see if I can get a more dated one here. Sorry, you guys. Right, let's see. All right, so here is a look at the Storm Prediction Center map here. We do have that moderate risk for severe weather for areas. Really, if you're going south of I-271, you really got a best chance of seeing some of those pretty significant severe weather. And even then, we have that enhanced risk for severe weather. With that being said, not just, even though some areas are not in that moderate risk, again, without that enhanced risk, and could still be just as bad as areas of the moderate risk. So just to start, it's going to be very important to know your severe weather plan, have multiple ways to receive severe weather warnings, and always make sure if you have a weather radio, make sure it works properly. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at some computer models here at the severe weather and some of the parameters we could be seeing. And so we're going to look at our reflectivity, which is what we use. It's almost like a simulation of what the radar could look like. And so we're going to take a look here. We're going to head into the morning hours, the overnight, and into Tuesday morning. This is a look here this is right around the midnight hour. We got some showers and possibly a couple of thunderstorms moving on just north of Akron. And as we continue, we'll continue to see that become more widespread. Now, with this rain, it's going to be important. Timing is going to be everything as how quickly this moves out of here. Now, according to this weather model, we really start to clear on out after about right around the 11 o'clock noon hour. So if that does occur, that could give us some time to start to what's considered destabilize and start to see some clouds dissipating and give us a chance to see some instability build up. And when you have that instability build up, that'll allow for some energy or some fuel for these storms. And let's take a look here at that instability potential, which will be considered our surface CAPE, which is convective available potential energy. So we're going to see if we can send that over here to right around, once we get around to that 1,000 joules per kilogram, which is the measurement we use, is really when we get the most energy. But even since we're into April, we're not going to have as great of a fuel, essentially some fuel to work with, but this should be really just enough fuel for us to work with for that severe weather potential. And so, with that being said, when we combine that, combined with what's called the significant tornado parameter, anything really above 1 is really concerned for some storms capable of rotating and producing tornadoes. And we have some very, very high values in and around a 330. We have values really ranging from 2 to 4, which is very concerning. This is essentially saying that storms could easily rotate. Really wouldn't take much for storms to rotate and produce possibility of tornadoes. Finally, we're going to take a look at something called a supercell composite, which pretty much kind of tells us the probability or the favorable for supercells to develop. And we're at a pretty decent number. Even anything above like that 3 to 4 mark could be a chance of seeing, hey, we have a chance of seeing some supercell thunderstorms moving on into the area. Now, I apologize. I mentioned that I had one more thing. I wanted to go back and show you guys the simulated radar for these storms. That's what I forgot to do here. You can see we're right around that Tuesday afternoon into the evening hours. We have pretty much a line of storms that tries to move on in. Could see a couple of individual storms moving through the area. And again, cannot stress this enough. All modes of severe weather are in play, including damaging straight-line winds, potential for some very large hail, and even that tornado threat, which could be significant at times. Blake, did you want to add anything regarding this severe weather event at all, or?
Yeah, so I was looking at some of the comments here. So some of the people are asking about tornadoes in Northeast Ohio, the 330 specifically. Based on the significant tornado index and then also the supercell composite that Ashley was just showing, most of the 330 does have some significant parameters that are being met for the potential for tornadoes. The severity of these tornadoes could vary based upon the early morning showers that go through and whether the atmosphere is able to destabilize as we go through the late morning into the early afternoon. So we are monitoring for the potential of tornadoes. I know a couple weekends ago we did have a significant tornado event down in Logan County, and the parameters then were actually to an extent less impressive than they are for tomorrow. I don't know if you would agree, Ashley, but
Oh yeah, absolutely. I would, just to give you guys an idea of a parameter, those are some, we didn't see any parameters close to that. And it'll all be about how quickly these morning showers can move out, because we could be dealing with, if they do stick around longer, we could be dealing with something called a cap, which pretty much puts a lid on the atmosphere, essentially preventing from storm development. Or B, we could be dealing with a very serious tornado outbreak, especially in the southern part of the 330 area.
So for anyone who's watching that lives in Tuscarawas County, Carroll County, I would say even as far south as the Coshocton area and Stark County, Wayne County, those are considered our southern 330 counties for the most part. You are in that moderate risk as of right now. We will update you guys tomorrow on if the Storm Prediction Center decides to upgrade this to the highest level of severe potential, which is considered high. They usually only issue a handful of high-risk days per a severe weather season. They are kind of a rarity, and they don't issue them unless they feel the potential is there for a very dangerous day for whatever area they decide to issue it for. Right now, we are sitting just under that for a majority of our counties. So Ashland, Wayne, Stark, Medina, and southwestern Summit County, including like Barberton and New Franklin area, is under that moderate risk, which is one level under the high risk. So not all of the 330 will be impacted by the worst storms. However, there is a good chance that you will see storms nonetheless, because you are still in an enhanced risk the further north you go. So Summit, Portage, and Mahoning counties. And that's still a significant risk from the Storm Prediction Center for severe storms to impact our area. In regards to timing, after 5 p.m. through the late evening hours is going to be the best time for this. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. And especially since some of this will likely be in the form of a line, that timing certainly could be adjusted. Again, we're still about a little right around that 24-hour mark. So there's still time for all that information to change. And that's why it's really important to stay tuned to 330 to go on this severe weather concern, and kind of to just give everybody a perspective. Moderate risks on a, so we're in a, tomorrow is considered the day 2, and getting a moderate risk that early in the forecast is very rare, not only in Ohio but in general across the country. It's really hard to get a moderate risk that early. So just to give you a perspective of how significant the severe weather concern could be, and the high risk is certainly not out of the question, especially if parameters continue to still show or increase the potential for becoming more and more favorable for that.
Absolutely. And then before we go, we will update everyone again tomorrow. I know Ashley and I had discussed going live again tomorrow afternoon at some point. If conditions do warrant the update and conditions get worse, we will come on and update you. We, however, at least myself, will not be able to go live during the actual event tomorrow evening because I will be tied up with my full-time job. So what I will be doing is sharing Ashley's live stream to our page for you guys to follow along with her as the storms impact our area. The only last thing I do want to show real quick is, and this kind of all developed as we started talking about this, there are some storms out to our west that are going to continue to move into the area. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to put this on the screen for everyone. So I'm going to remove the severe weather forecast for tomorrow because I have that in here from reviewing everything. And as you will see, there are some storms out west near Upper Sandusky, Marion, LaRue that are going to continue to move east and impact our area this evening. None of these have any severe warnings on them, just some thunder boomers, as we like to call them around here, moving through the area. There is a chance for severe weather this evening. I don't know if we anticipate any of these to materialize into what would qualify as a severe thunderstorm, but we will continue to monitor that. And then, like we said, we'll reevaluate everything in the morning and then decide if there's a need to come to you guys live again tomorrow afternoon, probably somewhere around the lunchtime hour. So we hope everyone got some useful information out of this, and we will keep you guys updated as we always do. Want to thank Ashley for hopping on here through her busy evening, and we will talk to you guys later and keep you updated as we always do. Have a good night, 330.
Good night, everybody.